How precisely did you hear that you were going to be Prince of Wales?
Well, I think it was, I remember sitting in the headmaster's study at Cheam, and we were all watching the television, and there were several other boys there, little ones. I remember being acutely embarrassed when it was announced, and I heard this marvelous great cheer coming from the stadium in Cardiff. And I think for a little boy of 9, it was rather bewildering. I seem to remember, all the others turned and looked at me in sort of amazement. And it perhaps didn't mean all that much then. Later on, as I grew older, it became more apparent what it meant. And now it's even more apparent what it means. You see, the trouble is that one has to remember that I'm in a slightly different position from several other people. And I think they try and put themselves in my position too much. I think out of certain necessity, I've perhaps been more lonely, if they like it. I mean, I haven't made a lot of friends, if that's what they mean, and I haven't been to a lot of parties or anything. There haven't been very many. And I've had a lot of other things to do. I've been around Wales a lot and looked at things and visited people. And essentially it is, I suppose, compared with other people's lives, more lonely. I was too young, really, to know where were the best places to go. For instance, Cheam or Gordonson. When you're that age, you don't know what school's like, for a start. You've got nothing to base your judgment on. You've no previous experience. And with Cheam, I was sent there, and with Gordonson, I was told that I was consulted, and my parents are marvellous in this way, that they always outline all the possibilities. And in the end, it is up to you, but I like to, to leave it to them. They know probably better in this case. I think that is the basis of one's job, to serve other people. I think if you have a sense of duty, and I like to think I have, then service is something that you give yourself to people, particularly if they want you, and sometimes if they don't want you, if you feel that you can do something, even if they think that, you're not doing something very useful, and you think you're right there, then you can be of service.
I think it's from what I can tell, and obviously there are problems here and there, inevitably. Nothing's ever perfect, and that people have lots of complaints, but generally speaking, it seems that it's a remarkably encouraging situation, I think, with people being able to pursue their own particular cultural activities within a wider framework. I spend my life trying to bring people together, because one of the few things that I can do, I think, which others can't, by the very nature of the situation I find myself in, is actually bring people together, because I haven't got a political axe to grind, so people know that I haven't got an axe to grind. They're more likely to come together from all different sides, people who shout at each other across blinking great chasms most of the time with megaphones. Yes. And by bringing them together, you can so often create something much more worthwhile than otherwise would be the case. I mean, if you think about these things all the time, you can't actually get on with life. That's the problem. Other people have to think of these things who are trained. I'm not trained to constantly look around and see if somebody's going to come and tap me.
Together with that fearless embrace of progress, which makes us great as nations. In the course of the last 70 years, we have seen our society become one of many cultures and many faiths. The institutions of the state have changed in turn. But through all changes and challenges, our nation and the wider family of realms, of whose talents, traditions, and achievements I am so inexpressibly proud, have prospered and flourished. Our values have remained, and must remain, constant. The role and the duties of monarchy also remain, as does the sovereign's particular relationship and responsibility towards the Church of England, the church in which my own faith is so deeply rooted. In that faith and the values it inspires, I have been brought up to cherish a sense of duty to others, and to hold in the greatest respect the precious traditions, freedoms, and responsibilities of our unique history and our system of parliamentary government. I too now solemnly pledge myself, throughout the remaining time God grants me, to uphold the constitutional principles at the heart of our nation. And wherever you may live in the United Kingdom, or in the realms and territories across the world, and whatever may be your background or beliefs, I shall endeavor to serve you with loyalty, respect, and love, as I have throughout my life. My life will, of course, change as I take up my new responsibilities. It will no longer be possible for me to give so much of my time and energies to the charities and issues for which I care so deeply. But I know this important work will go on in the trusted hands of others. As my heir, William now assumes the Scottish titles which have meant so much to me. He succeeds me as Duke of Cornwall and takes on the responsibilities for the Duchy of Cornwall, which I have undertaken for more than 5 decades.